So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about public accountability. Public accountability in the motorcycle club. What is that? I was a leader of the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation for almost 10 years. And I was a national enforcer for a couple years before that. And before that, I was a president, founder of the Atlanta chapter. And I was able to co-found probably 20 chapters or even more, maybe 30 in the Black Sabbath Nation. These were the things that I did to better my motorcycle club. I was paid back by, I built this club. I built it into a national powerhouse. And my payment was being stabbed in the back. And all by guys who wanted what I had but couldn't build it. So the other thing you can do is steal it. But they were able to corrupt a lot of good people on the way. People who will always be forever tarnished by the corruption that they allowed themselves to be a part of. And so I try to use everything as a teaching moment to teach you guys as best I can so that you don't have the same issues in your motorcycle club careers. And one of those issues is to live with the taint of being corrupted. And that taint, it's horrible. I once talked to a sergeant at arms of a Christian motorcycle club. And his motorcycle club had lost the tenets of its Christianity. The national president was doing stuff like sleeping with club brothers' wives and all kinds of stuff they told me about. I never publicized it because I didn't want to take out the reputation of that very esteemed Christian motorcycle club. It would have hurt a lot of people's feelings and disappointed a lot of people. So I didn't want to disappoint people. I never really said anything publicly about these things that I had learned. But the experience that this guy had, this sergeant at arms, it really tarnished him and it hurt him. It hurt him with himself because he found himself doing things to protect the national president that went against the bylaws, went against Christianity, and went against goodness. And it went against the mission he was trying to live his life. And when asked, well, why did you do that stuff? His answer was, I was trying to protect the club. And so some of the things he did was he helped the national put people out of the club bad without a trial, people that stood against some of the things that national was doing, like sleeping with club brothers and club brothers' sisters and club brothers' wives, rather, and having orgies and all kinds of stuff that didn't fit the Christian doctrine that they were espousing. And so when the sergeant at arms, by the time he came to me, he was so disgusted with himself. And I asked him, why did you participate in all of that? And he was like, I was just trying to protect the club. I was trying to protect the mission of the club. And in so doing, I allowed myself to become corrupt as the organization. And part of the reason was that he was not holding himself publicly accountable. When you hold yourself publicly accountable, you hold yourself up to the same standards that you require of other people. For instance, the sergeant at arms, they offered this kid, just a kid, he was a good guy. He had a lot of promise. His name is Offset, president of the Colorado chapter. Hey man, he was eye-opening. He was a breath of fresh air. He was a go-getter. Man, he did things with that Colorado chapter, had them guys looking good, riding good. He was the apple of my eye. I just knew he was going to go far. And the club started splintering. Sometimes people make decisions on what side they'll go. No matter what decision on what side you make that you're going to go, always remember to do what's right. You can make a decision to be against somebody. You don't have to follow Black Dragon. You could be against everything that Black Dragon is doing. So you make the decision to go to the other side. That's fine. Politics are like that. People will take different sides. But the thing that you have to remember is, no matter what side you take, you must be righteous. You must be righteous in your dealings. So, at some point, I'm going at it back and forth with the national president, real hard. And his problem is I had so much sway. Like, even though I was retired, put out on suspension, all this kind of stuff, I was still bringing chapters to the club. I was the only one who could. I was still bringing chapters, 2 or 3 chapters a year. And this gave me influence. And a lot of times, like, my influence is higher than your rank, because people would come to me and not him, and that sparked jealousy and things like that. Sometimes when you're a leader, you got to understand that people have greater influence than you. Let those people make you great. Let those people make you a great leader. Sit back and watch them perform. You get the credit ultimately, but you have to be wise enough to understand that everything that's good that happens in the club, everything that happens great, happens under your watch. You're the guy that's going to get the ultimate credit. So sit the hell down and shut the hell up. The jealousy is not necessary. Saul was jealous of David. Why? David was out winning all the wars. He got mad when they came in and came back and the ladies were singing, Saul has killed his thousands and David has killed his tens of thousands. But Saul was the king. Be happy with being king. You can't be it all. So this kid up there in Colorado Springs, president of the Black Sabbath Colorado Springs chapter, man, this kid was awesome. He was amazing. But he fell to the other side. And me and the national president going back and forth, I won the election for national president. Well, they couldn't have that. So they were trying to find every kind of way that they could find to throw that election, which is what they did. And we had some issues. I've talked about them. One of the issues, we had a big issue with a 1% club, and that national president screwed it all up. So the 1% club was coming after us. They were like, okay, you guys will not ride in Georgia till we fix this shit. And so the national president figured this would be a good time to get rid of Black Dragon. We'll blame it all on Black Dragon. We'll say he set this whole thing up with this 1%er. And we'll even say he tried to get a club brother killed. Now, you can't do that by yourself. You got to have people that will push that lie with you. And this is where I remember talking to that young sergeant at arms, and he told me he was that mother effer. He was that dude who pushed it for his national president, writing people up on charges that they didn't do, making sure that they didn't get a fair trial, making sure that the deck was stacked against him. This on his conscience. This he has to live with for the rest of his life. This he had to handle and look at himself in the mirror and still call himself a Christian. So with some of these lies that they were telling, they had to get this young, and he wasn't a sergeant at arms yet. He was president of Colorado, one of our most promising chapters. Them guys were hard, man. I love that kid so much, Offset. I loved him so much. He gave me inspiration watching him ride. He gave me inspiration talking to him on the phone. He gave me inspiration. He built a bar out of barrels, these oil barrels. And he sent me the plans. And my very bar in the Dragon's Lair is built from the plans he sent me. I love that man. As much as a man could love a man, as much as a man could love a brother, I love that kid. He made up his mind that he would throw in with the people that are trying to get rid of Black Dragon. And when he threw in with those people, he also had to make up his mind he was going to spread their lies. Merlin says, I told you, Black Dragon, you are the Black Donald Trump of the MC world. He made up his mind that he was going to have to follow those lies and carry those lies out and do some horrible shit. And even if he thought, even if he believed, and he may well have believed the lies that they told him about me, he may well have believed those lies. Even if he believed those lies, he still had an obligation. And his obligation was to do shit right, because they offered and made him a sergeant at arms. In fact, the national sergeant at arms, without a vote. So that was the first thing. We vote in this club. And you found yourself too high and mighty to receive a vote. That would have been too hard. So instead you took the appointment. But with the appointment came, well, it came stipulations. I appointed you. That's why I don't like appointed sergeant at arms, because presidents can get them to do nasty shit. I prefer every position be voted for. Now, a lot of outlaw clubs don't believe that way, but I'm not in one of those clubs. I believe everybody should be voted for, because nobody owes anybody shit when everybody gets voted for. So now you're the president's boy, and he says, Sergeant at Arms, I need you to leak this information about Black Dragon to every single solitary biker news organization that'll take it. I need you to leak these documents about him. These fake ass documents that we wrote on Microsoft Word. These are his charges, and we want everybody to know him. So I had a few clubs out there that, not clubs, but channels out there that I wasn't friendly with. One of them was a guy by the name of Wrecking Ball Bob. And what I didn't like about Wrecking Ball Bob, most specifically, is he's a nut hugger. He likes to hug the nuts of 1% motorcycle clubs. So somebody once sent him the bylaws of the Iron Order, and he spent a month or two reading their bylaws online and laughing at them. Well, that's against MC protocol. I'm an MC protocol dude. And as an MC protocol dude, and you want to be part of our lifestyle, you're not in a club, but you talk club shit. You're not part of a club, you're just a nut hugger, a hanger arounder. But you would think, because you are a content creator, people are following you, that you would at least try to follow some of our traditions and norms. And if somebody sent me their club bylaws, I absolutely would not read them. I would destroy them. Unless, now I've helped clubs write bylaws, and I wrote my own non-compete and non-disclosure and sent that to those clubs so that they would know that anything that they told me in like that would be confidential. In fact, when we made the movie Biker Boys, all of those actors that were wearing colors of real clubs, we had like a swearing in ceremony for them. We didn't just put them in our colors. There was a ceremony before they were allowed to wear, something, decorum, public accountability, following some traditions and norms. And those colors were collected each night. They didn't sit in a Hollywood van. They were collected and treated with respect. So when somebody is doing things, you have to do things the right way. So this Wrecking Ball Bob guy was not doing things the right way. And so I made a video once saying, hey man, I know you don't like Iron Order and you're jumping all over and making jokes all about it, and that's a real motorcycle club. They got real people in that club that care and love that club. Why are you doing this? You're not a club. Like, you're gonna stop Iron Order? Like, you have no bearing in this. Don't do that. It's uncouth, it's unclassy. And that caused a hatred in me, man. That guy hated me. And so he would make videos about me. And my own club realized that this guy didn't like me. My own club realized it. And so they looked him up, along with another guy by the name of Big Cell, another guy I was arguing with. It's kind of funny that you would have social media beefs, but hey, they're real. And I had one. And they went to several other people. They even went to Hollywood, Insane Throttle. They went to Danny D'Lo. They went to a whole bunch of folks. And there were a whole bunch of folks that wouldn't even listen to the shit. They went to Big Bone Yard, Big Bone 1%er, Outcast. They went to Archbishop, 1%er. They went to every news station that they could go to, Biker News and Social Media Protocol Channel. And they sent them these fake-ass documents about me. Do you know who sent those documents? Offset. The guy that had made National Sergeant at Arms. Now listen, you have to hold yourself publicly accountable. You have to be about the things that you speak of with merit. So if Black Dragon was a rotten piece of shit for trying to get a brother killed, then what kind of piece of shit are you for leaking the charges of your brother to news? See, we're a secret society. We don't do that. One of our, thank you for following me, whoever that was. One of our tenets is that you do not, you do not talk club business. That's every motorcycle club. So there was no scenario under which that is acceptable. But that's what he did. Now, how do we know? Well, women. Women are a mother effer. You shouldn't mess with women because we men, we ain't smart enough. We ain't smart enough to mess with women. We just ain't. And so, Big Bone's woman, because I said, Big Bone, where did you get that from? Who sent you that? And Big Bone said, I don't know, it came from an unknown number. And Big Bone's woman said, well, if that guy has a Cash App and he's used Cash App on that phone, if you put that in the phone number in that Cash App, it's going to tell exactly who that son of a bitch is. Women. Aren't women something? That's why you don't need to mess with a woman. Don't play in a woman's field. You're going to lose. You're not sharp enough. You're not quick enough. Big Bone put that number in. Came up Colorado Springs. So I asked his brother. I asked his blood brother. I said, hey, man, does your brother have a secondary phone number? Yeah. Can you give it to me? Yeah, this is it right here. Same number. So, ugly. I was brokenhearted. I ain't never done nothing to that boy except try to teach him and show him the right ways and how to be a strong president, which he was. He is a strong president, but he's a rotten, gutless piece of shit. And when I asked him, why did you tell those lies on me? He said, well, that's what they told me. But you're a sergeant at arms. You have a job to investigate and research. And if you find that somebody's screwing over a club brother, our bylaws require you to take action against them, even if it's your national president. But when you become addicted, drunk with power, or fucking terrified of the people that you're supposed to be working with, and now you change to a working for, and you become their boy, you can now be corrupted. Corrupt. That's corruption. You are corrupt when you no longer do what's right. A lot of people think corruption has to do with money. Oh, he's corrupt, he took a bribe. No, corruption doesn't always have to be money. You can be corrupt when you ain't right. And you ain't right if you ain't holding yourself publicly accountable. If you're not holding yourself accountable to the same actions you're going to punish somebody else for, you are a corrupt motherfucker. You ain't real. You're a jack off. That's what you are. And so, if you were publicly accountable, you would step down and probably turn your colors in. That's probably what you would do. And I speak from great experience on this, because when I was national president, there was a situation where I felt as though I had become a distraction. We had a run-in with a 1%er club. It wasn't pretty. And we had to go face them one-on-one, man. And at the end of that, I was damaged. My credibility was damaged. Not that we didn't stand, because we did. And not that we didn't say hell no when they told us we were going to pay some kind of whatever they called it. We're like, we ain't fucking doing that either. We stood. But I had led the men into a trap. I went into the meeting. They asked us to take our guns and our cell phones and leave them on the bike. And I felt like we were in there on a truce. So I ordered the guys to do that. And when they got our guns off of us and our phones off of us, boy, they really showed out. And I just kept thinking, what a goddamn fool I was to lead my men into this trap. So, when it was all over, within about 2 or 3 weeks, I laid my national president vest down. And I made a video you can go find on YouTube saying, when you become a distraction, you have to step down. And that's how those guys got into the power that they got into. So, yeah. When I say hold yourself publicly accountable, I did it. I didn't hide. I didn't make excuses. I stepped down. And there was some more shit to that. Those backbiting, dirty sons of bitches did. But that's a story for a different time. So, when you, Tank, come here. When you, come here, hold yourself publicly accountable, you're holding yourself to the same standard of accountability that you're going to hold somebody else against. That's what you're doing. So if you know that you did some dirty shit to Black Dragon, and you know that shit you did that was dirty was against our bylaws, then you have a requirement. Come on, dog! To throw yourself on your sword and say, hey, I did this for the organization. However, it was wrong. There was a congressman, a black congressman, Republican dude, who put a gun to the head of an Iraqi prisoner. You guys probably know who he is. He put a gun to the head of an Iraqi prisoner during one of the Gulf Wars and told that mother sucker, if you do not tell us where the IEDs are, whatever it was, I'm gonna blow your head off. And so he got the information he needed. And as soon as he got that information, which saved his comrades' lives, what did he do? Do you know? He went and he turned himself in. Turned himself in. And I think was promptly kicked out of the military. I don't remember exactly what happened to him, but it wasn't good. Most of you guys will probably know more than I do about that. But the point is that He held himself accountable. He knew what he was doing was against the rules. He was doing it for the good of the military and the good and the protection of his men and his lives. But he could not hold himself as a soldier in charge of men, knowing that he had violated the UCMJ, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, that he would be required to exercise against the men that he was commanding, knowing that he had broken the UCMJ himself. He could not be that kind of hypocrite, that kind of double-dealing, dirty, backstabbing son of a bitch. So he stepped down. The world loved him for it because he became a senator or congressman, one of those things. I can't remember that guy's name. So I say this to you guys to tell you that it is my expectation that you hold yourself to the highest standards of your organization. I'm not saying you're not going to do things wrong. I'm not saying you're not going to screw up. I'm not saying you won't do something that's shitty and low down and despicable, because you may. But after you do it, I'm telling you, hold yourself accountable. After this man sent these charges to me, or of me, to all of these stations, and these people started playing this, and it started going all over the country. Black Dragon, kicked out of the Black Sabbath. I'm kicked out of the Black Sabbath. There ain't even a trial. There's charges. The next lie that they told was Black Dragon wouldn't stand trial. Okay. Let's say that's true. Let's say Black Dragon wouldn't stand trial. You still have an obligation to hold one. You still have to present those documents. You have to present your evidence, and it has to be voted on. And in my club, it's got to be a 100% vote of guilty. So, if you're the sergeant at arms, you know this. So for you to sit around and say, well, you wouldn't stand trial, and we didn't have a trial in absentia, we didn't do anything, we just put you out. These things are against our bylaws. So here again, you failed our motorcycle club. This is a teaching lesson for you guys. Do you want to be a failure like that? Do you want to be, do you want that to be? Because I'm telling you, the young guys are watching. And what you guys don't understand is you teach the youngins how to treat your ass by how you treat the people that were before you. They watch. They watch you. They see you. And they be like, oh, I got it. So when it's your turn, and believe me, if you're in a club long enough, your turn will come. And you look for, wait a minute, I dedicated 40 years. I did this, I did that, I did the other. Yeah, but you remember Black Dragon? You showed him no quarter. So why should we show you some? That happens, friends. It happens because they don't forget, especially the young guys in my club that loved me, that did not have the power. Tank, come on here. No, Coyote's over there. Come on. That did not have the power to do anything about it. They won't be powerless forever. And there are many of them sitting back like, gotcha, big dog. Gotcha. Now we know how to do it. So the next thing was, then they wanted to say Black Dragon went against the mother chapter and rewrote all of our bylaws. Another damn lie. But, because see, Black Dragon has been writing Black Sabbath bylaws since 1998. So, and that time, well, actually since 1995, because I was a prospect. I was a prospect when I started writing Black Sabbath bylaws. And why? Because they knew I was a writer, and they wrote like black people talk. So, the bylaws looked like that. And they were like, oh, we got this young writer here, Black Dragon. I wasn't Black Dragon then, I was Prospect. Prospect, clean these bylaws up. Yes, sir. So, the lies that they told. But in order to perpetuate this lie, they send our bylaws to these content creators. Black Sabbath bylaws, secret bylaws that were only available to people in the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. They sent these bylaws that had my initials here and there, where I had changed bylaws. When I had changed those bylaws, I put my initials there so that the entire club could vote on them. But they changed that. They turned that into a lie. But in order to perpetuate this, I guess somebody said, well, let me see the bylaws you're talking about. So the national president authorized the sending of our bylaws to people that weren't in the Black Sabbath Nation. Can you hear this shit? Can't make this shit up. So now we got Big Cell and Wrecking Ball Bob, the same guy who went through step by step the bylaws of the damn Iron Order and laughed at them and made fun of them. This motherfucker got our bylaws. And God only knows who else got our bylaws. Hollywood Insane Throttle on television or on the big screen, whatever. And he's got Big Cell from Fast Riders Only. Yeah, I got his bylaws right here, and I've read them. So if you were a righteous sergeant at arms that held yourself publicly accountable, you would have told that national president, I understand you did that to get rid of Black Dragon, and he had to go. But bro, you broke our bylaws. You shared our shit. You shared club business. National president, you gave the order. And I don't know whether or not Offset carried out that part of the order. I don't see why not. He sent the other shit out. He probably was a little gopher they had sending everything. But you should have said, sir, now that we've done that, after we step Black Dragon's ass up out of here, we need to turn in our shit too. Because what we did for the greatness of the nation. We did it for the greatness of the nation. And so they got to know that we all are accountable. Boy, that is a hell of a a principle, right? That's hell of principled actions. And I guess I was in the military, I was in the Navy, submarine force. They taught us principles, man. Principled actions. They used to say you're only good as your last off shit. One off shit will fuck up 1,000 attaboys. They called for us to be qualified. On a submarine, you got to be qualified. You got to be able to fight fires, flooding, catastrophes. No man can be dead weight. Any man that doesn't know what he's doing, even for a moment, can cause everybody to die. If you see flooding and you're 800 feet deep, you got about 13 to 40 seconds to solve that casualty, or everybody dies. So you can't be down there bumbling around, not knowing how to fight fires and how to fight flooding and how to, you can't do that. So I guess I've always been used to being publicly accountable. Like with this weight I'm losing. Been telling you guys, get skinny. That's my thing. Get skinny, get skinny. How am I going to tell you to get skinny and I weigh 400 pounds? I weighed 400 pounds for years, though. I mean, didn't happen overnight. Look at me now. I did it. I did it. And I'm doing it because I'm asking you to do it. I'm asking you to take care of yourselves. And that's why when I was on insulin, and I fought until I got off. When I was on insulin, I took my shots right on this camera so you could see, so I could say, hey man, take your insulin shots. I'm taking mine. I want you guys to live. We're grandfathers and shit now. Great grandfathers. I want y'all to live. So, JD shit happened to me because the founder in the press was mad I was dating her brother. No vote, no appeal. Just sad. But I think God wanted me to live this, because this was the only thing that people would ask me about that I would have no answer for. Because so many of you guys have been put out bad. No vote, no nothing. And people would ask me, what do you do? What do you do? And it hadn't happened to me, so, wow, we just walked a mile and 34. We just walked 1.34 miles together, 37 minutes, wow. 3,000 steps. That's what we just did together. So, see, I'm not really breathing, and I talk the whole time. So, I'm getting fitter, more fit, fittier. So, I didn't have anything to I couldn't, yes, Maddie, I'm outside. I couldn't tell him. I didn't know what to say. Like, had never happened to me. But now I know what to say. You fight. You use your voice. You find your voice. I'm lucky to have a big voice. But small voices can fight too. Like Harley Gwendon is fighting. He is, when they put you out bad, you have no voice. But with today's communication systems, you ain't got to be voiceless. There's chat boxes and everything else. A club either treats you fair, or they got to wash their dirty laundry in public. You don't have to be voiceless. You know what I mean? So, Just Right said she went against the bylaws that she wrote herself. Shaking my damn head. I know, man. And that's the stuff I was telling you guys about. So, in any event, it's time for me to get out of here and go to bed. 12:20. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's my bedtime. Let me scooch back through here and see if I've missed very many comments. Come on, dogs. Let's go. See if I've missed very many comments. Is a Fat Boy Low Harley a good starter bike? Yeah. Fat Boy's a good starter bike. Kind of expensive for a starter bike, but yeah. You speak the truth, brother. You can't protect the club that way. Somebody says they're in Colorado. You speak, brother. I am. What's up, OG? Always keeping it real. Thank you, bro. Keeps it so real. Thank you, Kashmir. Good evening, my friend. Good evening, country. You need to start that club up again and make a comeback. Thank you for the hearts. Merlin called me the Black Donald Trump. The more I watch you, the more you look familiar, says Bobo. I don't know. Yo, everybody is not in for unity when you're in the MC. Someone's about that patch. Yes, sir. And do anything to keep it. Justice Katanji Jackson said, blacks need ADA to vote. Huh? What is ADA? Did you hear about what happened in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania yesterday? You talking about, I know there was a guy arrested up there for choking a guy out. No, that was in Florida. No, what happened in Pittsburgh? Greetings from Atlanta. Greetings to Atlanta. Miss Hap, good to see you. Colorado Springs checking in. What's up? Colorado Springs, Street Soldiers, Atlanta, good to see you. That's right, say yes, sir. Tonka Toys, motorcycle, MSC. What is an MSC? Motorcycle, MSC, motorcycle, SC, I don't know. Damn, I'm getting old. I should know what MSC means. Thank you for following me. Lab 20s, Oscar Knotts, what's up with you? Thank you for sending me that hat, the Spaniard, and the mustache. Thank you for that. Thank you for following me, Mishap. Mishap, you weren't following me? Bro. Smalls, 1%er AOA says true. Thank you, brother. It's called courting because before it's over, you're going to end up in court. Would you consider yourself a big bro, unk, or OG? Man, I hate to be an OG because it means I'm old. But at 62, I guess I feel like I'm like 30 or 40. I still feel like the same guy I was when I was 11. But yeah, I'm an OG now. And I hate that because I'm old. But I'm lucky to have lived this long. Move out the way. Move out the way. Next run and hide. Let's see. Bobo, the top Rhode Island. Just trying to catch up with all stuff. Why did they kick you out? Oh man, I went through all that in the beginning. No club vote. That's crazy. It was crazy. BD, you're outside. Yes, I am. Maddie says she's too skinny. What, boy? What? What do you see? What, boy? What? What do you see? One of those coyotes? Come on, Brutus. A split. Come on, dog. Come on. Come on, Brutus. Come on. No, don't throw that ball. I'm not throwing that ball. Come on. A split. Come on, dog. Come on. Come on, Brutus. Come on. No, don't throw that ball. I'm not throwing that ball. Come on. Top. Artifact bypass. What does that mean? On top. That dog is beautiful. Oh, thank you. Which one? I got two. You sure don't look 62. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. That's because all my friends are in their 40s and 50s. And these people keep you young, bro. Trying to keep up with their asses keeps you young. All right. I think that's everything. I went back and covered everybody's comment. Yeah, you know you're 62 when you be tired and have to take your ass to sleep. Because, oh my gosh. I'm tired. I got to have at least 7 hours of sleep a night. At least 7. Or I just feel so bad, man. Anyway, it's been a year since I went through that ordeal. And I've waited for a year for the club to do the right thing. So now that a year is over, I am speaking up. But I want to speak up as teaching lessons. I want you guys to learn from this. Because my name has already been destroyed and my legacy has already been tarnished. And I want you to understand that no matter how much you give, my mother used to say that you only give because it's the right thing to do. You don't give because you want something back. If you give because you want something back, people are not nice. They're not grateful. So you give because it's the right thing to do, and then you don't have to feel bad about giving. Hey, you guys keep hitting that like button for me. We only got 5,600 likes. What? So if you did what you did because you wanted to do it for the best of the greatness of the club, then you don't have to have a thanks. So I'm okay with everything that I've been through because it has made me strong. It allows me to talk to you guys. And I've got way more of you guys out there than I ever had club brothers. I got 500,000 subscribers. That's 500,000. Maybe 5 or 10,000 of those 500,000 would be closest brothers. I got way more brothers than most people will ever have, and sisters. People write me every day. People call me, they send me messages, they tell me how I've changed their lives. And I never could have done that had it not been for this medium. A lot of people hate, and I never could have done that had it not been for this medium. A lot of people hate. They hate these guys, guys. And I don't have to have a television crew or a production crew. I can just do it all myself with a cell phone sitting in my car out in the woods. That's crazy. That's absolutely bonkers that I have talked to tens of millions of people. I'm not Nelson Mandela or anybody, but I sure got to talk to a lot of people. Is that cool? Oh, I keep freezing, says my producer. Time to end. Okay. I'm freezing. It's time to go. I'm tired anyway, sleepy, and just rambling. My name is Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. And just thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night. Thanks. Just thank you all for tuning in. Have a great night. Thanks for listening. Publicly accountable at the same virtuous characteristics that you demand from others. Well, I hit the end button and it didn't end. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. And make sure to like, share, follow, and subscribe, and repost. And the 5 ways that you can help me: 1, like my videos; 2, watch them all the way through; 3 and 5, comment on my videos using 5 words or more, and that supports my channel. Thanks. Have a great night.